know that Expedition 33 is not Game of the Year, that the Game Awards is a sham.
So we already, wow, 7 seconds in. I mean, it did win Game of the Year, right? I mean, I guess you could disagree and say you don't think it's Game of the Year, but like factually, it did actually win that shit, right?
And that Jeff Keighley cannot be trusted to do anything in regards for the players. Okay, we all know that this was a complete farce, and that in actuality, Nintendo won this year. The Switch 2 won.
How did Nintendo win? Literally, in your last video, you were seething because they barely got mentioned. And when they did get mentioned, they got booed off the stage, right? So now we're just like coming in hot, literally, just coming in hot, just coping, like just wild.
Donkey Kong Bonanza won, Mario Kart World won.
And that's funny. The Rage Not, you said it the best. He said he doesn't care about the Game Awards, though. At one point, tell me if I'm tweaking. He literally said at one point he wasn't going to watch it.
Kirby Air Riders won, Metroid Prime 4 won. Like, it was shocking watching this show and, like, seeing, like, you know, best art direction. Like, well, that should be Metroid Prime 4. Nope.
That shit wasn't even in the discussion. Oh, get out of here, man. That game is ass. Why do y'all keep on capping, right? Like, this is not a good look.
Expedition 33, it's Unreal Engine 5 slop. The most generic.
Here, and you see, it's little guys like this who have ruined the word slop. It was a good word for like 2 or 3 years, but now these guys have gotten a hold of it, and we're gonna have to find another word.
Boring looking game you could imagine, with its stiff animations, its terrible character models, and its awful environmental design. You know, Expedition 33 is just a very good
I mean, but show me the Nintendo game that came out this year that looks better.
Example of just how desperate the industry is to keep up the illusion that the Western video game world is relevant, right? You know, we were seeing like this game be given all these awards that it did not deserve. You know, best soundtrack should have gotten
that's one thing you cannot hate on that. Like, the music from that game was phenomenal, right? 1,000%, right? For real, for real. And I mean, I could really give two fucks about soundtracks, but every now and then there will be a game that just has really good songs that kind of like stick in your head. Like, you can't cap about that, right? Like, the soundtrack was on another level. And don't even get me started. That soundtrack playing while the fanboys were coping, while that shit won. I mean, like I said, all the stars aligned, right? He's tweaking.
Pokemon Legends, you know, or Mario Kart World, or like, you know, it was
Pokemon Legends. Wow. See, we're dealing with the Nintendo fanboy.
It was really strange, like, watching these awards and not even seeing the better Nintendo games even get nominated.
Yeah, because there was none, right?
It was very...
And like you said, they weren't nominated, so you had time to prepare for this, right? You had time to accept this. And that's why, like, I seen you were trying to get ahead of it by saying that you don't care about it and that you're not going to watch it, right? Someone says that you do that every year, right? But sure enough, you fell for the same trap again, and here we are. You're still coping and seething, right? Yeah, Pokemon Legends is shit.
But what really struck me about this, really, and a lot of people have noticed,
I'm laughing at the emojis for fucking hat guy. Yo, that shit is goated.
This now too, is that Expedition 33 won Best Indie Game.
Yes.
It's not.
It's an indie game.
It has a publisher.
Wow.
It received financing from investors. So by definition, Expedition 33 is not indie. Like, you keep seeing...
I mean, I thought that they were independently owned. I thought they were a small studio of 33 people. Like, so now we're going to gatekeep what an indie game is. Now we're changing the definition of what indie is to cope. I mean, this is just sad. I've never seen anyone arguing about this shit until this game won. It's just sad, right? Yeah, God, he's slow.
Like, well, they're not owned by anybody, and
yeah, they're indie.
So
yes,
that means that
yes, they're not owned by anyone. Yeah, he can't even. God, this thing is just yapping. Like, yes,
idiot. Like,
oh, you idiot.
Means independently financed, that you pay for everything out of pocket with no investors at all.
Yeah.
Like
Goalpost, where are you going? He's trying so hard to will that thing away, but he's out of shape.
Entire
he's out of shape. You can tell he's out of breath trying to move this goalpost.
This is indie falls flat on its face the instant you look the background of this game and how it was produced, how it was funded. You know, the entire narrative that you see people like come up with, you know, like it only cost $10 million to produce. Like, it's not true. Like, it just isn't.
I mean, okay, cope sip. Listen, now this is literally like the perfect definition of a cope sip. He's going to say that it's not true. So are you going to tell us how much it costs then and give us some data?
Like, it only cost $10 million to produce. Like, it's not true. Like, it just isn't.
Yeah, it just isn't. Cope sip. Damn, look at how quick that cope sip was. Oh my God. Yeah, cope sip. And then just changes the topic.
It's really, really remarkable to see just how many people are willing to dispute this point. Like,
there's nothing to dispute, right? There's nothing to go back and forth with, right? You're just saying ridiculous stuff and you just keep on going, right? And here we go. You got another shit video. I mean, you're getting views. Hey, shout out to John Bond the Zombie. You're getting views, you're getting engagement, right? But I mean, at what cost? You sure are looking like an idiot.
I really want you to believe that this low budget slop should be classified
low budget slop
to make it look better than all the other indie games and more affordable than the AAA slop, you know? Like,
I mean, it's more affordable than the Nintendo slop.
That's kind of what this is all about. Is that we are seeing like an attempt at like infiltrating the indie scene from corporate interest to try and
But it's literally a small team, right? I don't get it.
Brand indie as just meaning like low budget.
Is he super fucking Is he super blazed? Why are his eyes so fucking closed? I don't know. I don't know why he does that, right? And maybe he's just so lazy, right? Because he does strike me as a very lazy guy. Maybe he's just so lazy he won't even open up his left eye.
You know, that's essentially what we're
seeing. Yeah, he's choking down all the goop, all the cope. Yeah, it's just crazy.
We're seeing games being sold to you that you would not buy if you knew that they were coming from major corporations. Instead,
what major corporation? You just said that they weren't owned by anyone.
They're doing this thing where they're trying to say that, like, oh, we don't have a lot of money and we put our heart and souls inside of it, and that's why it deserves to be Game of the Year, even though that there were better Nintendo games out this year.
Like what? Because all you said is as Nintendo Metroid Prime, and we all know that shit was dog shit. And the funny thing is, you're saying this, there was a Nintendo game that was nominated for Game of the Year. And it lost, right? I guarantee you he'd be singing a different tune if Donkey Kong Bonanza won Game of the Year. And I mean, I'm pretty sure it won some shit, right? You know, like, I don't see why he's coping, and especially when he says he doesn't care about the Game Awards.
You know, like, this has been happening a lot, you know, and like, right now we're just supposed to accept it. We're just supposed to accept that this should be classified as an indie game in spite
of... he means Microsoft gave them Game Pass money. I mean, Hollow Knight Silksong got money from Microsoft as well. Right now, granted, I know they have a lot less people. I guess there's like, what, they're like I think they're like less than 10 people working on that game or some shit like that. But I mean, you can't make the argument that there's not indie games in Game Pass, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, when did all this indie police shit happen, right? Like, this seems like a new goalpost that was just developed, right? As of last week. It's like a new metric. Like, before, if it was an indie team, Team Cherry is 3 devs, damn. Well, either way, if Team... You guys get what I'm saying. It seems like these guys are just pulling this shit out of their ass out of nowhere to cope about the game, right? And these will be the same guys saying they don't care about the Game Awards.
Of the millions of dollars put into its development, it's ridiculous. It is positively like absurd. The links.
Yes, he is too old for this, 1,000%.
That people will go to keep the narrative alive, because like the AAA scene has collapsed. You know, that's the simple reality of it.
I mean, I do think there's some truth in that.
Is that the Final Fantasy VII like tactic of like hyping up some random RPG?
So now Final Fantasy is catching some strays.
RPG is like the greatest of all time, and how Nintendo could never compete, and how like Final Fantasy was way bigger than Zelda. That doesn't work anymore. You know, like. It's kind of remarkable, you know, looking at like the decline of Final Fantasy.
Oh shit!
And its fall from grace. And
yeah. So now we're talking about Final Fantasy. Now, meanwhile, the name of this video is Expedition 33. Clair Obscur is not an indie game. I mean, he's just getting in his bag. Now, I said this yesterday, right? Now we're getting into wounds that never healed, right?
Like how just so much of it kind of hinged on this idea that they gaslit people into thinking the game was more impressive than it really was.
Oh.
Right. And that, of course, extends to games like Metal Gear Solid and like...
yeah. Literally.
You sound like you are a male feminist.
He does sound like a male feminist.
Jack and Daxter and all these Grand Theft Auto, like the list goes.
Did he just say Metal Gear Solid and Jack and Daxter?
And that of course extends to games like Metal Gear Solid and
what?
Jack and Daxter and
those are good games.
Grand Theft Auto, like the list goes on and on. But like
I think they're good games, right?
What's happened is eventually graphics.
It's funny how Harmon beefs with RTU, but they have the same locale gene. He beefs with Dark Side Phil as well, right? DSP. It's crazy. Like locales, it's weird how they attract each other, right? It's very odd.
Stopped getting better. They stopped evolving. They started getting ludicrously expensive to produce, and they take longer and longer and longer. And now we're waiting 13 years for a Grand Theft Auto 6.
I mean, that's true.
So the entire narrative has to become that, now we want lower budget, artsier games. Let's ignore all.
He's just seething. LOL. Simple. Yes.
The Nintendo games that were already doing that, but let's hype up this random French studio instead. That's essentially what.
Oh, so now it's a random French studio, right? I thought it came from a major corporation. All right, it sounds like an indie team.
Is that we are seeing the narrative shift. Nintendo has beaten the AAA industry.
Oh.
They are completely irrelevant at this point.
There he goes.
And now they're trying to prop up some random studio to defeat Nintendo. And it's just the same old.
And what did I say earlier? See, here's why I come in, take it full circle. I literally talked about this earlier. This is the crazy thing about fanboys. They think the world revolves around their platform of choice. No one's sitting around let's prop up this game to defeat Nintendo, right? Like I said, no one's sitting around thinking about Nintendo except for you fanboys. More times than not, right? Maybe it's just my algorithm. When I've heard about Nintendo, it's been bad things, right? The Switch 2, or as you guys know, I like to call it the Slave 2, right? Because if you own one, you will be a slave too.
Song and dance. And I think it's something that's going to perpetually continue until the Game Awards just doesn't exist anymore. But the issue.
Ew, wipe nose on shirt. Did he wipe his nose on his shirt? I didn't even peep that. Wait a minute, right? Did he really do that?
And it's just the same old song and dance.
Oh, I may have missed it.
And I think it's something that's going to perpetually continue until the Game Awards just doesn't exist anymore. But the issue with this. And
they talk more than playing the damn game, yeah, for sure.
I do think this is a new thing that we haven't really seen before. Is that
20 seconds back? Oh, it's too far back. Damn, but I'll take your word for it.
New tactic. They have to do this thing in order to legitimize this this lower budget game. They have to give it all these awards.
So now it's a lower budget game, but you were just talking about how it was funded and it's disguised as an indie, right? I mean, dude's just yapping.
They have to give it all this hype. They have to nominate it for
dude is nasty, bad manners.
categories that it did not earn, right? They have
yeah, he's very sloppy to say. Just look at his neck. I bring this up all the time. His neck is touching his chest. Right? I've never seen such neck droopage.
to do all of this stuff. And what happens inevitably is that they shaft other games.
Oh, Nintendo games
that they should be supporting. So with this game, because the Expedition 33 getting promoted so hard to try and legitimize it, Hades 2, Silk Song,
promoted so hard to try to legitimize it.
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 especially have all.
And those are all good games, and people like those games.
All been made completely irrelevant. Nobody.
And he stays doing this. He said fucking Baldur's Gate 3 was irrelevant. So every game is irrelevant because he wants it to be irrelevant. All the games you just talked about, all of them have been received well, right? At least from what I've seen, right? I've played most of them. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I think that shit was a banger. I don't get it.
Nobody is going to remember those games now. Silk Song's L here, I think, is going to be the next major step.
Wow. So now Silk Song is taking an L.
In getting that game to be discredited in the community. And that was something that people were seriously hyping up as the Metroid killer for a good long while there. And this is a very good example of why that isn't going to happen. Hollow Knight was one of the most successful indie games.
Yeah, all the games he hasn't played or liked. Exactly.
Games made in recent
Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 was my favorite game this year. Yeah, it was up there for me. Like, it was a really good game.
years, and within like a release of the sequel, it's been rendered.
Is he one big act, or is he really this delusional in real life? You know, he's giving me Dreamcast guy vibes. You know what I mean? Because it seems like he doesn't really care about like the engagement he's getting. He's just trying to get views. That's what it seems like. Either way, like I said, if it's an act, hopefully this is the end of the chapter, right? You know, I had to document it all. Hopefully this is the end of this act, because I'm not gonna lie, it is getting a little stale, right? I mean, he's looping at this point, and he's not even saying anything. He never said anything to begin with, but I mean, he's just yapping.
Almost completely irrelevant. You know, it really demonstrates, I think, how something like Metroid Prime 4, which was way more controversial, which had all this weird development cycle, and like a lot of people were damage controlling when it came out. Like,
a lot of people were damage controlling. Does he see? This is what I mean. He's using words he doesn't even understand, right? He's saying damage controlling, like it's like a negative thing. Like, you mean people were shitting on the game, not damage controlling, right? This is what I mean. This is just like how he's using the word slop. People were shitting on the game because of how they paywalled stuff, how the game just looked lackluster, right? You know, we talked about this. I've showed you guys the tweet of the bullshit riding around in the desert. It just looked mid, right? And it's crazy. Only the Nintendo fanboys want to glaze this shit and get butthurt about it. What does this have to do with Expedition 33, though? That's what I want to know, right? He's not even staying on the topic anymore.
It's remarkable how this, like, you know, goated indie game, like...
Yeah, see, now it's just Nintendo Cope.
Gets completely positively wrecked by Nintendo, simply because
Nintendo Cope.
They can't afford to do what Nintendo does. They can't afford to take time with it. They can't afford to experiment. They can't afford to take risks. And they certainly can't afford to put out multiple...
I mean, I thought that people didn't like the experiment that they did with Metroid Prime 4, right? I heard that they, like, made it open world and that people didn't like that shit.
Games a generation the way Metroid has. And Metroid is one of Nintendo's smallest franchises. So even Hollow Knight, the absolute, like, peak of, like, indie games, I think, like, just loses to Nintendo.
Michael said he's been this way for years. I've been following him since 2019. Damn.
And there's just nothing the industry can do to stop it, because there isn't going to be a Hollow Knight 3. You know, there isn't going to be, like, some major revitalization of this brand of this series. Like, you're going to get some DLC over the next couple of years, and that's going to be it. You know, like,
I mean, so he's saying that's going to be it for Team Cherry now. So now we're coping about Hollow Knight Silksong, right?
Have witnessed the beginning of the end of the
you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
Corporate indie narrative, you know, like
the corporate indie narrative.
This is how things are going to end. You can prop up Expedition 33 all you want. You can call it the greatest game ever made. You can call it the game of the year. But
I mean, I see people saying it's the game of the year. I see people enjoying it. Like I said, I have seen a lot of people who've never played a turn-based RPG getting into it, right? Which I think is cool, right? I do see like a lot of fucking people trying to gatekeep the genre. I think it's cool that people who weren't interested in it, you know, that was able to turn people into wanting to play it. I just don't get why these guys are so salty about this shit.
At the end of the day, this is something that
he's a prophet now, apparently.
Was absolutely 100% destroyed by Pokemon. You know, this is
wow. So now he's saying it was destroyed by Pokemon.
Was absolutely 100% destroyed by Pokemon. You know,
he's off. Yeah, he's gone. He's out of there.
This is something that
he's left.
Going to get that cannot compete with Fire Emblem. You know, this is something that is going to wither away into nothing.
Like Baldur's Gate 3.
Years. It happened to Yakuza. It happened to Nier Automata.
Wow.
It's gonna happen.
Literally, Yakuza and Nier Automata. Both of those games are bangers. What is this guy talking about?
This, you know, there is no difference between this and all of the other like fringe games that the industry tried to hype up over the past several years. You know,
I mean, but this is more than just like the industry. Like, players are enjoying this game. Like, you can't sit here and act like there's not people out here. Like, the game, like the public has reviewed the game, because let's just be honest, nobody gives a fuck what journalists have to say. Right? The journalists, like the people enjoyed the game, right? I just don't get why these people are coping about this shit. I swear, Nintendo fans are the Disney adults of gaming. That's what it's looking like. Just say you hate any game that's trending. That's what it seems like for him.
It's not unique. And the simple fact of the matter is, if fans have to talk about the price point and like the budget. And if they're
What's wrong with talking about the price point?
talking about like
Mind you, this is for a Nintendo fanboy who pays $80 for slop, right? In his words.
how it's just like, consumer friendly, it has no
Yes, consumer friendly, so that's not worth mentioning.
DLC. Like, these guys are completely out of touch because
But doesn't it have DLC? Like, didn't it just drop some DLC after it won?
Kirby Air Riders has no
For free, I think.
DLC either. That game released that like completely finished. And on the flip side, in the Nintendo community, like people are seething about that.
I mean, you guys are seething about a lot, right? Let's just be honest. You guys are just out. Yeah, free DLC. Like you guys are just yapping, and I don't even understand, right? I guess maybe they're just butthurt. They got booed off stage, Nintendo, anyways. But these guys are one with the corporation on some weird shit.
Like it's such an interesting like contrast where like Expedition 33 does something that
yeah, they just did a thank you update. So what is he talking about? No DLC.
Nintendo did, and like Nintendo gets criticized for it, while Expedition 33 is worshipped. And like again, I do need to reiterate just how performative and fake this all is. Like nothing about Expedition 33 is really organic or natural. And
I mean, dude, here's the thing about it. Like he's coping so much about this shit. I don't even get it, right? He's an author, by the way. Respect him. I know, right? I heard he wrote a book.
After seeing that award show, I am very, very convinced of that. I think Jennifer English is a stupid whore. I think
Wow. So now he's calling people stupid whores. He's really let me play that back one more time.
And
yeah, he said Pokemon. I can't believe he's glazing that shit.
After seeing that award show, I am very, very convinced of that. I think Jennifer English is a stupid whore. I think all those idiots look ridiculous in their stupid berets. I think their millionaire parents really should have invested in like a real career for these people.
Oh, so now you're salty, and now he's claiming that they're just like, they had a silver spoon in their mouth. So now you're just seething, right? Because they have success, they followed their dreams, and they were able to achieve it, right? And now it's funny how he wants to talk about incels, like when you look the way you look, I let's just be honest, brother. Like we know you get no hope. This shit is getting hilarious. That's why I do like watching this guy.
Like this is, I think, like a very, very good example of how the entire gaming industry just kind of revolves around a lie. The lie that there are good games outside of Nintendo consoles, that there are smaller.
Get the fuck out of here. There, for sure there are, right? 100%. And let's just be honest, all the Nintendo games are available on PC. That's where they play the best.
You should know this.
You should know this. You know this, right? That's why you be seething, right? A bro looks dirty. Yeah, he does.
That there are small, passionate developers that put out great games on Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. And this idea that something like this is artsy or invigorating or
it is
better than actual RPGs. And that's kind of my takeaway from
actual RPGs. So now he's shifted it to it. Look at him. This is the thought of someone deep in thought. I got to get a fucking screen grab of this for the fucking thumbnail. I mean, this is the idea of someone who's like moving the goalposts. Like this is someone, look, he's putting every two brain cell together to fucking move that goalpost. It's using up all his fucking brain power. Yeah, that might even be an emoji also, to be honest with you, right? All that brain power. I mean, this is just sad. Yeah, actual RPGs, right? All he needed to do was just push up his glasses.
Is that like when you look at like my entire list of like
why is he damp? Yeah, he's always sweaty, right? He's always very sweaty and greasy.
Games
he's just a very slimy guy.
I want to play like all these different RPGs. Like you really start to notice process just how none of these Expedition 33 players know anything about RPGs at all.
Okay. Like perfect. I'm glad. And this is what I'm saying. I've been seeing people get so gatekeepy over this, right? The RPG aficionados, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I like RPG games, but if there's new people that have gotten interested in the genre over one game, I think that's a W for the game. It's bringing more people into a genre that you love. And that's what I'm saying. I just think it's very loser-esque to try to gatekeep a fucking genre because you see some people that are new to it enjoying it.
There have been so many good ones over the past 5 years that I've barely been able to keep up with them.
Okay.
You know, like,
okay, but who gives a fuck? They're talking about the one that just won the game of the year, right? And obviously that gets you upset.
Final Fantasy Tactics is like, that came out in 97, still better than Expedition 33. You know, Atelier Ryza is just probably one of the best hidden gems of this console generation. You know, you have games like, you know, the Dragon Quest 3 remake.
Gatekeeping and gaming, you don't see. Yeah, I know. These guys are the worst.
All the Tales of re-releases, or like the old Final Fantasy games. Like, you just have so many.
Okay, yeah, and there's some old classics and whatnot, right? But what about a new IP that comes along, right? That's a good game, right? And you can't even talk about it because from your logic, you haven't played it, right? But we all know you're not going to play a game outside of the Nintendo console, right? You know, in honor of Hat Guy.
Shut up, you filthy peasant.
Just shut up, you filthy peasant.
Examples of RPGs that are better than Expedition 33, and yet you're just supposed to sit there and like and say that Expedition 33 is better because the gaming industry told you so. Because
shut up. See, now he's moved the goalpost so much, like he's fucking confused at this point. So now you're talking about older RPGs. We're just talking about this year, right? You've moved the goalpost so much, right? Bring up some RPGs from this year that were better than Claire Obscure, right? Just start listing them, right? But you can't do it. He's just yapping.
The gaming YouTuber told you so. No, absolutely not. Like, I have seen these people. I've interacted with them. Dark Side Phil loves the game. Like,
wow.
I can't.
You see, and that's why, brother. No way he just brought up Dark Side fucking Phil again. This is what you're using to get like a heat check on the fucking industry. Like, dog, you're a fucking clown. Like, you're a goofball. You're so out of the loop. It's fucking ridiculous. I already know no one takes you seriously, but I mean, there's no way you just said that shit unironically.
These people, I've interacted with them. Dark Side Phil loves the game.
Like this guy unironically watches Dark Side Phil and Sieves. Like, he actually sees Dark Side Phil as a gaming content creator and not as just like a beggar. Like, this guy's exposing himself. This guy is fucking dented.
I can't take it seriously. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I play.
Dude is so hurt. The French made the best JRPG. That's what it's looking like this year. They definitely got it.
Way too many games.
They definitely swept the Game Awards for sure.
To take too many RPGs to ever believe what these absolute plebs have to say about my genre.
The absolute plebs. And did he just say my genre?
To ever believe what these absolute plebs have to say about my genre. This.
Shut up, you filthy peasant.
I'll just shut up, you filthy peasant.
Is a complete and total cope on their part. Expedition 33 will never be successful. It'll never be relevant. It'll never be Game of the Year.
It will never be successful, relevant, Game of the Year, all the things that it is right now. Just coping on the way out, right? This is like a buzzer beater cope. He's trying to get in all the last cope, right? Hopefully this is like the end of this chapter, the end of this this season. But look at him. He's trying to speed run the cope.
It is not going to save the video game industry, and this
true
situation is nothing but a desperate attempt to try and prop up a dying Western video game industry.
Wow, so powerful. Look at this. Then he look at this shit. He doesn't even know how to end the video properly. Like, nigga's struggling to end the video. Like, I gotta play that back one more time. Because he tried to have like a nice little dramatic exit. Couldn't even do that shit. And doesn't even have the wherewithal to edit it out. Yeah, cool frame to end on. Look at him, confused. So gross. I know, disgusting. Like a caveman. Look at him, like the caveman he is. Disgusting. I'm so sorry you guys had to see that, right? Just so nasty. Yeah, that's his tough face. Yeah.